Today is 7th of July, year 2005. Today's topic is practical Abhidhamma for Vipassanā meditation, is it? Yeah, practical Abhidhamma for Vipassanā meditation. So first of all, I would like to emphasize if you have proper guidance or proper teacher for your practice, I will say it is not necessary to learn Abhidhamma, it is not necessary to read any books. And then, because a teacher is very important for you, or for us, especially for meditation practitioners. During the time of the Buddha, there was one incident that really took place. Once Venerable Ananda approached to the Buddha, and then he told the Buddha, "O Lord Buddha, I feel it is 50% important. Teachers is 50% important for spiritual achievement." And then the Buddha told the Ananda, please don't say that. Actually, the teachers is 100% important for spiritual achievement. So this is the Buddha's word. So if you have proper guides or proper teacher who really is able to teach your practice or your meditation, and then Abhidhamma is not necessary for you to study or to learn. And then today, practical Abhidhamma for Vipassana meditation. So I need to emphasize how much important the Abhidhamma subject for meditator. Then how these two aspects relating to one another, Abhidhamma, practical Abhidhamma, and the Vipassana meditation. Otherwise, many people they think Abhidhamma teaching is different from the Vipassana meditation. They don't have any relationship between the two. So today I will try to explain how these two aspects are related to one another. There are two aspects. First of all, you need to learn in my topic, Abhidhamma teaching and the Vipassana meditation. Okay, one side is Abhidhamma teaching, the other side is Vipassana meditation. Then Abhidhamma teaching is authentic words of the Buddha, that is known as teaching of the Buddha. Of course, that's why we call Abhidhamma basket or Abhidhamma pitaka. That's the teaching of the Buddha. The Vipassana meditation is a method taught by the Buddha, then also known as the teaching of the Buddha. So, first of all, we need to learn what is Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma contains two words, Abhi and then Dhamma. Abhi here means higher or distinguished, the Dhamma, teachings. So this is we call uppercase D, so the capital letter D, Dhamma, teachings. So Abhidhamma means higher teachings or distinguished teaching. But sometimes you may confuse learning the higher teaching or hearing the higher teaching. The higher teaching means seem to higher than the other teachings, is it? So the proper word is, and I believe more suitable word is distinguished teaching. That means whenever the Buddha taught the teachings or doctrines in the Sutta Pitaka, the Buddha usually used conventional terms or conventional terminologies such as men or women, and then monks or nuns, and then even the five aggregates or Four Noble Truths and so on. But even though in the Sutta Pitaka we can find certain terminology, there's a name for ultimate reality, such as Nama Rupa, 5 aggregates, 12 kinds of sense bases, and the 80 types of dhatu elements, and the 4 noble truths, Satu Satya. Even then, because the Suttanta Pitaka cannot explain detail, not like Abhidhamma. So that's why we will see Abhidhamma teaching is really distinguished from other teachings that I will explain later. Then Vipassanā contains also 2 words, combinations of 2 words, Vi and Pasana. Vi means in diverse ways or various ways, Pasana, seeing. So Vipassana means seeing in various ways. So seeing here means the indirect meditative perception of phenomena in terms of 3 universal characteristics, such as impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and the non-self, that is anatta. Actually, nowadays many people or many yogis facing some difficulties because they could not differentiate this is samatha or this is vipassana, because based on objects sometimes they disagree each other. For example, certain people they follow the tradition rising and falling, this is vipassana. Certain people they follow the certain tradition using as a preliminary objects such as anapana, breathe in, breathe out. Some presume that anapana is a samatha, no vipassana. It's not really, it's not true. It's how do you use your objective, how you are applying this anapana meditation for samatha or for vipassana. It depends on how you apply. Any objects that we call preliminary objects can be for vipassana meditation, but vipassana meditation means whenever you apply any objects, either rising and falling, or anapana, breathe in, breathe out, or feeling, or any sitting, touching, or 4 dhatu or elements, it doesn't matter. So long as your application or your intention to apply this method very much based on 3 universal characteristics, that such as impermanence, anicca, and unsatisfactoriness or suffering, dukkha, and the non-self or no self, that is anatta. That means everything beyond one's control. And also vipassana meditation objects is a need to related to there is a certain characteristic such as rise and passing away. So long as your application is really related to these kinds of 3 universal characteristics, or rising and passing away, this can be presumed, this can be called vipassana meditation, vipassana practice. Indeed, the vipassana meditation is a function of cetasika, that is wisdom, panya, directed towards the uncovering the true nature of things. So whenever we practice vipassana meditation, the main function is panya. That panya is to recover the nature where truly exists your 5 aggregates. So that is a way to understand vipassana meditation. So now we need to learn the objective for Abhidhamma teaching is to explain the nature of ultimate realities, which are presumed as things or elements that exist depending on their own intrinsic nature, sabhava. Or these are known as dhammas, that is a lowercase dhamma. If you uppercase, always you use capital D as an uppercase, that means directly we refer to the Buddha's teaching. Dhamma, the teaching of Buddha. If you use a Dhamma, lowercase, small letter, D small letter for small letter, Dhammas, which means the final or indivisible components of existence. So Abhidhamma is analytical tool, we already explained, to recover or discover or explain or explore the reality of the existence. That is an analytical tool. So that's why the objective of Abhidhamma is to explain the nature of ultimate realities. The objective of Vipassana meditation is to discover or experience the nature of ultimate realities applying Abhidhamma teachings or Abhidhamma theories. Okay, Abhidhamma teaching is to explain the nature of ultimate reality, while the Vipassana meditation is to explore or discover the nature of ultimate reality, applying the Abhidhamma theories, Abhidhamma technique. Thus one can understand that practical Abhidhamma is, after all, Vipassana meditation. Okay, the practical Abhidhamma means, after all, Vipassana meditation, whether you agree or not. Do you agree or not? For the moment. Okay. That's why if you don't have chance to learn Abhidhamma, it's not necessary, because your teachers know already Abhidhamma. That's why whatever he or she explain this doctrine for your practical practice or Vipassana meditation, the teacher all the time define the terminology which is directly related to Abhidhamma teachings. If you are just simple meditator, you are practice for your own, it's not necessary to learn Abhidhamma books. But you can discover yourself under the guidance of your own teacher who knows Abhidhamma. So that many Abhidhamma scholars used to say, we can understand Abhidhamma based on our own practice, not from the book. True Abhidhamma, that means the real nature of ultimate reality can be discovered by means of practice, not by means of learning. That's why if you really want to experience of ultimate realities, which is Abhidhamma all the time is explain the ultimate reality as a name. That's why the Abhidhamma books explain the name for ultimate realities. Your practice help you to realize the real ultimate realities through your own experience. So anyhow, so practical Abhidhamma is, after all, Vipassana meditation. When we want to practice Vipassana meditation, we have to apply the Abhidhamma teachings such as the 5 aggregates, the Noble Eightfold Paths, and the 4 Noble Truths. In terms of these statements, one might argue that the 5 aggregates, the teaching of 5 aggregates, or the name of 5 aggregates consists of Sodanta Pitaka. What for we learn the Abhidhamma? So that's why certain people disagree that for practice, for Vipassana meditation, or to understand the ultimate reality, it's not necessary for us to learn Abhidhamma. Because the 5 aggregates, or 4 Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Paths, the name is appear in Sodanta Pitaka as well. But the Sodanta Pitaka, that means the Sutta teachings, do not explain the character or the nature or the functions of 5 aggregates, functions of the ultimate 4 Noble Truths in detail like Abhidhamma teaching. So I need to explain for this point. For example, the 5 aggregates, for example, if you are Sodanta Lana, you know the 5 aggregates. What are they? 5 aggregates. Rupa Khanda, aggregates of matter or form. Vedana Khanda, aggregates of feeling. Sanya khana, aggregates of perception, Sankhara khana, aggregates of mental formation, and the Vijnana khana, aggregates of consciousness. So if you read the Sutta Pitaka, you can see these words, 5 aggregates. Then I would like to point out, so far, if you never ever learn the Abhidhamma, whether do you understand the meaning or not, aggregates of matter, aggregates of feeling, aggregates of perception, aggregates of mental formation, aggregates of consciousness. You can understand the Rupa khana, aggregates of matter, but you do not know how many matter contains in that form or that matter, that Rupa. The aggregates of feeling, what is the feeling for you? Then aggregates of perception, because they are each possess one category, own category. Feeling is a feeling, okay. Perception is a perception, it's alright. How about whether you can understand or not? Aggregates of we call Sankhara khana, aggregates of mental formation. What is mental formation for you? Mental formation means what? Whether could you understand or not? If you never ever learn the Abhidhamma, I don't think so. You cannot understand clearly what is the mental formation. Mental formation is what? Excuse me? What do you think? Mental formation is what? No idea. Anybody help me? What is the mental formation? Mental formation means mental formation, is it? Mental formation is a thinking. That's true? Anybody? Mental factor is okay? Anybody? Eh?
Ideas.
Idea is alright? Anybody? Because there are just not these mental factors. How many types of mental factors do you have idea? Mental states or mental factors, how many types? Contain 52 types. Okay. Whenever actually 5 aggregate means we put into the group Ceta, Cetasika, Rupa. Okay, Ceta, Cetasika, Rupa. Consciousness, mental factors, and Rupa. We put into the group. Okay, the Buddha, because the Buddha in this case, in particular case, the Buddha always looking for temperament, the individual charita, that means vasana or temperament. For example, certain people want to hear or want to understand, listening the doctrine of 5 aggregates. The Buddha will use the name of 5 aggregates. But even though the Buddha used the 5 aggregates, these aggregates are related to the Abhidhamma or ultimate realities. Ceta, Cetasika, Rupa. Not related to Nibbana. Ceta, Cetasika, Rupa. So, if you know the Ceta, then the Buddha used another terminology that we call Vijnana khana, aggregates of consciousness. Consciousness means all 89 types of Ceta. The Buddha referred to, this word referred to the Ceta, consciousness, contains 89 types. Then matter, aggregates of matter or form, that is related to 28 types of matter or form. Okay, another 3 aggregates which is related to Cetasika. So those have opportunity to learn Abhidhamma, they will know. Vijnana khana, aggregates of feeling, that means feeling directly refer to the mental factor, one of mental factor. Aggregates of perception, sanya khana, they know this is the sanya, perception, as a group, as an aggregate. Then sankhara khana, mental formation means Cetasika contains altogether 52 types. So just now, one aggregate take out one feeling. The other aggregate take out one sanya perception. So how many remain? 50. If you take out 2 from the 52, how many types of mental factors remain? 50. So the mental formation means referring to all kinds of 52 types Cetasika. So that's why I just now say thinking. Possible? Remembering is okay? mental factors, 52 types is alright. So mental formation, the word, if you do not know Abhidhamma, theoretically cannot understand. Now if you know the Abhidhamma, that means Sankhara Khana for you is very clear. Whenever the Buddha says Sankhara Khana, mental formation, means that formation contains all 52 types of Cetasika except Sanya and Vedana, feeling and perception. So that's why the Abhidhamma is very helpful for your practical or your understanding or your knowledge. So that's why the way to explain in the Suttana Pitaka, the way to explain in the Abhidhamma Pitaka different from one another. For this reason, Abhidhamma means distinguished teaching or higher teaching. The distinguished teaching. Because it's different from other Suttana, the way of Suttana teaching. And then now again, sometimes according to the individual or personal interest, the Buddha sometimes didn't use the word five aggregates. Then the Buddha used Nama Rupa, so simple, because certain people want to hear more categories so that they conceptually they learn more. Some people they say, wow, more categories were more confusing. So that for me is simple will be okay. Therefore, for those who like it simple aspect, then the Buddha used the two words Nama Rupa. So if you know the Abhidhamma, since you hear the two words, there's a Nama Rupa, same as five aggregates. Because whenever the Buddha used Nama Rupa, there is out of four ultimate realities, Citta, consciousness, Cetasika. Cetasika is a mental factors, Rupa, Metta, Nibbana, and the Nibbana, there is an absolute peace. So Nama, that means Citta, Cetasika. In the commentaries also, Nibbana is also, if you put into the categories, another Nama. The Rupa is a Metta. So whatever you practice Vipassana meditation, these two aspects working together. The consciousness, it has own function, which is able to know the objects. So consciousness, which is able to know objects, the objects will contain physical phenomena and mental phenomena. So that means Citta, Cetasika, Rupa can be, but according to your experience, mostly meditators have to be observe the physical phenomena. Then later on, even physical phenomena is no longer exist or disappear. At that time, they have to be aware of mental phenomena as well, like feeling, perception, something thinking or knowing, and so on. So this Nama Rupa is usually directly related to four ultimate realities as well. So Vipassana meditation supposed to know this nature of Nama Rupa. The Abhidhamma teaching or practical Abhidhamma supposed to help you to understand the differences between the functions of Nama and the functions of Rupa, or nature of Nama, nature of Rupa. Then Vipassana meditation help you to realize what is the nature of Nama, what's the nature of Rupa. So you can define yourself. Sometimes you are not very sure whether I'm knowing the Nama Rupa based on my own theory or concept, or based on my experience. How will you know? You are to yourself. That is the point. Abhidhamma and the Vipassana meditation. Suppose I know there is a Nama, there is a Rupa, there is a physical phenomena, there is a mental phenomena. The Abhidhamma teaching will help you to understand Nama Rupa theoretically, or name for ultimate realities. Vipassana meditation helps you to realize or discover the real nature of Nama Rupa ultimate reality. So how will you differentiate between these two things? Which is knowing is based on my conceptual or my thinking or my theory, understanding theory, or based on my true experience. How will you differentiate? How will you know yourself? Whether you are knowing based on concept or based on reality? Anybody? Can you help me before I proceed? Impermanent is a reality. Okay? Yeah, anybody?
If I haven't studied Abhidhamma, I don't have a problem because I don't know the theoretical part of it.
Okay.
So whatever I observe has to be experienced.
Okay. Then also please remember, whatever teacher explained to you, there is Abhidhamma as well, even though you never touch the Abhidhamma books. Is it you think you have never ever learned Abhidhamma before? Do you think so? Yes, you already learned. Not from the books, not from the Abhidhamma lecture, from the teacher. All the meditation teachers use that terminology more than 100 times or more than 1,000 times in the one retreat. If you join the retreat, you may hear Abhidhamma terminology more than 1,000 times. Do you think so? Yeah, because they never explain the Abhidhamma, but they will say, okay, whenever they say feeling, whenever they say mindfulness, whenever you say consciousness, whenever you say four elements, whenever you say nirvana, hindrance, and nivarana, for aggregate defilements, whatever, all these terms is a name for Abhidhamma. So you can see only generally. If you think, now I'm knowing the Nama Rupa, who is knowing? I'm knowing Nama Rupa. So long as whatever you are experiencing still involve I or I'm knowing, that is surely you are knowing based on theory, based on concept. Suppose for meditator, you realize it, something, there's a something I always use because there's no name for ultimate reality. Okay? Name itself is not ultimate reality. For this reason, I always use there's a something which is able to recognize, able to know the objects as a softness, hardness, tension, loosen, light or heavy, and so on. This something is Nama. Okay, nature of Nama, because its characteristic is to know objects. So even though you don't know the name, but you realize it, yogis realize it, Vipassana meditator is realize it. There is something which is knowing. There is a true realization. But that knowing is not I'm knowing. Who is knowing? Just knowing. Nature is knowing. Then for example, that knowing is knowing the object, physical objects. Suppose this physical object you say my leg, my head, my body. Then this knowing cannot be your real knowing, seeing the ultimate reality. Because since you are experienced in both legs, hands, body, because of name itself is the ultimate conventional truth. Body, legs, head, body, these are also named for conventional truths. So meditator is knowing something, either physical phenomena or mental phenomena. That knowing may not involve, will not involve. There is something is knowing for what? Knowing for something that is softness, hardness or tension, whatever, beyond the words, go beyond the words. So that kind of experience, then this is a real experience or true experience, because there's no such I involved who is knowing or able to know. Okay? So if you are knowing, if you are experiencing Still I involved, I'm knowing, this is my body, this is my leg, my hands. That's why that is the yogis are challenging. Because, for example, certain yogis never ever experience this phenomena, mental phenomena, physical phenomena. First time they realize it, they really scared, they really frightened. Because something is knowing, that knowing is seem to another world, external world, or another beings. Seem to watching whatever I'm doing, whatever your body moving. So sometimes it's afraid. Then sometimes people they are seeing no substance body form. There's no head, there's two hands no more, there's legs no more. Sometimes the whole body is no more. Then certain people they begin to scare. Again, sometimes they feel it, their head, whether it's truly exists or not. For this reason, we always explain the yogis, you don't need to worry whether your body really disappear or not. Until the yogi sitting behind you, they will remind you, hey yogi, your head, where is it gone? Then you scared at that time. Whoa, is it? My head is no more? Because the experiences are so wonderful. That's why you cannot imagine what you think, what you presume. This is the only first foundation or first very low burden of knowledge, intuitive wisdom, we call Nama Rupa. For this reason, many Buddhists read a lot of Abhidhamma books, a lot of teachings. They think, I know Nama Rupa, I know Four Noble Truths, I know Noble Eightfold Path. Because you know, that's why you don't know. Because I think, I know, but in reality, you haven't experienced yet. For this reason, Abhidhamma and Vipassana meditation are different function, different procedure, but they are related to one another. The Abhidhamma theories help you to understand clearer as we call conventional truths. So conventional truth is fundamental aspect to realize ultimate reality. But even though they are different from one another. So now, for example, to know the Vipassana meditation, yogis need to apply the technique of Noble Eightfold Paths. Come again, Noble Eightfold Paths. What are the Noble Eightfold Paths? I think you all that can count, can name Noble Eightfold Paths. Number one is a Samadhi, what is right view or right understanding. Number two, Samma Sankappa, right thoughts. Number three, Samma Vaca, right speech. Samma Kammanta, right action. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. Samma Vayama, right effort. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. Samma Samadhi, right concentration. These 8 components or factors, where come from? What are they? Is it Vipassana meditation produce itself this name? Or this name is which these names are related? Where these names come from? Or how this how do you call 8 components related to? Actually, every word, every single word are name of Abhidhamma. Samadhi means, according to mental factor, that's what we call panya, wisdom, because it's already named. Samma Sankappa means vitaka, that's one of Abhidhamma name, the Citta. Samma Vaca means Samma Vaca. Samma Kammanta is a Samma Kammanta, right action. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, is also itself is a name for Citta. Then Samma Vayama, the Viriya, effort, there is a Citta. Samma Sati, mindfulness, itself is a Citta. Then Samma Samadhi, concentration, there is a Ekaggata, Citta. So these components are actually name of Citta, mental factors. But we apply this Abhidhamma name or terminology for our practice. So at the time, meditation teacher will instruct you Okay, if you really want to attain intuitive wisdom, you need to observe sila. Sila means sama vaca, sama kammanta, sama ajiva, right speech, right action, right livelihood. Then you need to work out, or you need to practice. There is a name for the concentration group. That is right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. And then you attain intuitive wisdom. That means right aim. Because of vitaka, that means thoughts. Some people they say right thoughts is not very clear, so that we call right aim. So there is an aim for understanding or wisdom. There is a samadhi is a right wisdom, means a right understanding. So whatever technique you are using or you are applying the name, these are all Citasika or Abhidhamma, name for Abhidhamma. But what you are applying, so that you experience whatever you are experiencing you are intuitive wisdom. There is a real seeing or realizing ultimate realities. So Abhidhamma, practical Abhidhamma and Vipassanā experience are related to one another. Because the first practical Abhidhamma used as a preliminary help or aspect or foundation, so that you can realize it ultimate reality. So this is Noble Eightfold Paths. We use it. How about if you practice Noble Eightfold Paths, then you may realize Four Noble Truths. Is it? Four Noble Truths. That according to procedure. So if you practice Noble Eightfold Paths, then you will realize the Four Noble Truths. What are the Four Noble Truths? Number one, Dukkha Satya. Dukkha Satya, truth of suffering. Number two, Samudaya Satya, the truth of the cause of suffering. Nirodha Satya, the truth of cessation of suffering. Number four, Magga Satya, the truth of the path to leading the cessation of suffering. Okay, this is the name for ultimate reality. So the Four Noble Truths. So many people think that I understand the Four Noble Truths. I will say you haven't understood yet the Four Noble Truths. Why I will say, so long as you cannot see the disadvantage of existence, so you are seeing must be based on theoretical understanding. If you really see the ultimate reality, if you really see the Four Noble Truths, then you can see disadvantage of truth or disadvantage of existence, so that you don't want to possess these kinds of existence, because your mind already detached to existence. For example, Sotapan, the first string winner of path and fruition knowledge, he or she is able to see disadvantage of Four Woeful States, because he or she already overcome wrong view and the doubts in the Dharma or teaching of the Buddha, and then understanding the wrong ritual and ceremony. We call Silabra Brahmasa. He or she is able to see the disadvantage for woeful states. Whatever their function, whatever their meritorious deeds, whatever your unwholesome deed or wholesome deed, doesn't matter. Never attached to the Four Noble Truths. That means that they never have idea to be born for woeful states. There's a Dharma protect practitioner protect the Dharma. For example, you are Singaporeans, you live in a very healthy and a clean place. When you go to India, because of Indian people sleep on the roadside, there's a very dust, very dirty area. Can you sleep or not with them, like them? You cannot. Why? Because you're proud, is it? Is it? Because you are so superior, that's why you cannot sleep. Actually not. Maybe you can feel you are not really proud of. But seeing that position, disadvantage of people who are living in the roadside, their life are very vulnerable. Any kinds of disease can spread easily. That's why you don't want to get disease. That's naturally you cannot sleep on the road, on the ground, because you are afraid to get certain kinds of disease. That's not you are pretending, no, you are only just saying you really doesn't want to do so. So Sotavan can see the real suffering of four states. But for you, maybe sometime when you read a lot of Dhamma books, wow, the Four Noble, four states is horrible, very terrible. Because you read the Dhamma books, then the one wealthy man take care of the dogs very well, then carrying the Mercedes car. Wow! Certain people they think my life is not as good as like the dog. Dog is richer than me. He is more comfortable than me. Maybe if I don't mind if you are the rich as like certain things, because your mind is really won't see the reality of or disadvantage of four states. Because the dog is aware, including one of four states. Dog existence is one of four states. No matter this dog how rich, it doesn't matter. Dog is a dog. You can understand whenever there is a man want to go out, sometimes put in the small cage, maybe 7 days or 2 weeks or 1 month, who knows? Sometimes the ties, the string in the neck. It doesn't matter how you can imagine, because for Pudujana, they were inspired admire for that position. So they were never ever just kinds of imagine. Certain people they think sometimes you are very busy, you are hardworking, even though you want to go somewhere, you cannot go. Then you see the birds flying here and there freely. Wow. If I become birds, it will be very nice. I can go anywhere. They are so happy, so free, and so on. So you sometimes they still admire the nature of birds' existence. That means you can see the real disadvantage of four states. That's why humans' nature, humans' mind, all the changing. The Sotavan never ever have such dream to be born four states, because the Dhamma they protect the Dhamma protect. That way we can realize it, whether you really see the disadvantage or existing, or you are still presuming advantage or existing, up to you. That's why the people they realize the Four Noble Truths. There are two things. For example, you never ever learn Abhidhamma in TT, but you will not know like Abhidhamma perspective, Dukkha Satya means what, or Samudaya Satya is what. But this cause dependent origination as through your experience. For example, you see suffering as a suffering. Suffering means everything rises passing away, so that this kinds of nature seem to torturing you, so your existence is hopeless, your existence is actually nothing rely on, because of every moment or every second, every phenomena, every mental phenomena, physical phenomena just arises and quickly passing away. The more you see that rapid rising falling, you will really scared to hold this existence. You really scared to possess that kinds of existence. So that is based on your experience. But anyhow, please remember, like Uriyabhya Jnana, that is related to Vipassanā progress. Uriyabhya Jnana can see the rapid rising passing away. At the moment, you really afraid of possessing the existence. Then you want to abandon, and you want to escape from that kinds of suffering. You are boring, you are scaring, and so on. You feel that. But this is still under the mundane field or mundane experience. That kinds of intuitive wisdom cannot uproot your certain defilements. So, certain yogis experience intuitive wisdom by means of Vipassana meditation. At the moment, seem to they see clearly, but that power of intuitive wisdom is unable to uproot your defilements, such as clinging, attachment, ignorance, or anger, and so on. So, those already attain path and fruition knowledge, So intuitive wisdom, the power of intuitive wisdom is weaker than the power of path infusion knowledge wisdom. So since one already achieved path infusion knowledge wisdom, the path infusion knowledge wisdom has the power to uproot certain defilements according to their level. For example, if you attain the first stage of path infusion knowledge, that knowledge is able to uproot wrong view. This one, deity. Wrong view means all kinds of wrong view. Then Vichikitsa, doubts, and the Silabhara Paramasa, wrong ritual and ceremonies. You never ever, happen in yourself, because you already uproot. Sakaragami, the second level of path infusion knowledge, cannot uproot, but they make it lesser and lesser, or weaker and weaker, and then they achieve the third stage of path infusion knowledge that we call non-returner. So at that stage, yogis is able to uproot anger and the attachment to sensual pleasure world. So that means you never ever long for possessing this sensual pleasure. You never ever have dream to enjoy the life in the sensual plane, because they see disadvantage of existence. And then arahants, they try to uproot the power of the path infusion knowledge. It is able to uproot all kinds of remaining defilements. For Puthujjana or mundane field, certain yogis experience, but this power of intuitive wisdom cannot uproot, but temporarily remove that wrong view, that kinds of doubts from yourself. But as long as your practice is maintaining, then you can remove temporarily, not permanently. That's why when you stop it, your meditation, then when you leave the meditation and retreat behind, then certain power of defilements may appear or may arise in your mind. For this reason, is the differences of intuitive wisdom, the power of intuitive wisdom, and the power of the path infusion knowledge wisdom are different, because the power of intuitive wisdom is subject to mundane level. The power of path infusion knowledge are subject to supramundane level. So Nibbana, for example, our goal, there's a nature of Nibbana can see by only those who already achieve path infusion knowledge. For this reason, for Puthujjana, even though we try to explain Nibbana, even though we try to visualize or imagine the Nibbana, you cannot really taste of nature of Nibbana, but you can guess, or you can presume Nibbana will be like this, but you will not speculate specifically what Nibbana is. So now, those who know the Abhidhamma, for example, even though they theoretically can understand what is dukkha, what is samudaya, what is nirodha, and so on. So whoever they learn Abhidhamma, dukkha means they call suffering, they know, but related to the four ultimate reality, dukkha means there's what we call mundane consciousness. All kinds of mundane consciousness are, we call lokiya ceta, altogether 81. Under there, or subject to, there is a dukkha, satya, because of their mundane consciousness are, after all, dukkha. Okay? And then, because of samudaya satya is directly related to lobha, or attachment to the existence, except this lobha, all the 51 cetasika are under the dukkha satya. The rupa, metta, altogether 28 types. These metta are under the categories of dukkha. So dukkha means All the citta is a dukkha. All the cittasika except lova, dukkha. All the citta except lokuttara citta is a dukkha. All the cittasika except lova or attachment or clinging is a dukkha. All the metta is a dukkha. So samudaya sajja means, according to Abhidhamma, this is lova, craving or desire for existence. This is samudaya sajja. Nirodha sajja means nibbana. Megha sajja means just now 8 components of cittasika, which is related to megha citta. So if you learn the Abhidhamma and our practical experience are related to one another. But if, for example, you never ever learn the Abhidhamma, but you really experience truly by means of your practice, but you can understand dukkha sajja, what will experience, how it is the samudaya sajja, nirodha sajja, magga sajja, but may not explain the Abhidhamma's perspective, because Abhidhamma is actually taught by Buddha very much based on his omniscient mind. Ordinary people cannot be see in detail, but when we can explain, because the Buddha already explained, that's why I just explain to you, otherwise I cannot. But practical, the Abhidhamma, that means Vipassanā meditation, you can understand certain way cause and effect. Okay, because we have to suffer, we have to face a lot of suffering, a lot of dukkha, because we attach to existence. So existence itself is dukkha. You see, there is based on your experience. For this reason, Buddhist scholars, they say existence equals sorrow. That means existence equals dukkha, suffering. This you see. We Puthujjana or you Puthujjana, sometimes whenever you facing certain difficulties, certain dukkha, you want to escape from that kind of dukkha, but you don't want to escape from the existence. Existence itself is a dukkha. You never realize it. That's why, so long as you cannot see disadvantage of existence, means you have to face suffering. Don't go and ask any teacher or any media or any fortune teller whether I will have to face dukkha or not. Because you cannot detach that attachment to existence. Just now the meditator, Vipassanā meditator, those who already attained the stage of path and fruition knowledge, they know that. Because beings, so long as any beings cannot see disadvantage of existence, they have to face suffering. No way to avoid. For this reason, the Buddha say, all Ariya means who already attained the stages, 4 stages, either first stage, Sotapan, second stage, Sakaraga, third stage, Anaga, the 4th stage, Arahant. They have only one teacher. But Puthujjana has many teachers. Is it true? Because for Ariya, we call Ariya, 4 types of Ariya. Because they know this teaching is come from any particular teacher or any particular Dhamma teacher, doesn't matter. After all, these teachings come from Buddha's teaching. So their great teacher is a Buddha, only one Buddha. For Puthujjana, you have a lot of teachers. Singapurian has more teachers. Is it good? So this teacher explained this. Then another teacher explained this. So please, don't make yourself confusing. Because any teacher to instruct the meditation practice, they may use the objects as a preliminary objects, may be different. I always use preliminary objects. Preliminary object is still using conventional truths for further progress your practice. Maybe some teacher instruct you rising and falling. There is a preliminary object. Preliminary objects that is still related to conventional truths. Feeling, see conventional truths. But if it's a name for ultimate reality, okay, remember. Then breathe in, breathe out. Because still you are using the form or shape, the instructions, naming. So later on, your practice is much better and better. Then you can no longer you name, just no name at all. For this reason, we always say, if you are really skillful, you are practice drop labeling, drop naming, because the name are sometimes very close to, attached to the conventional truths. If you without naming, just be aware, then later on you will discover your awareness. That means something which is able to notice or able to know the objects. No need to name, either consciousness or mind or awareness, doesn't matter. There's something, you will see eventually, that's knowing the objects. That's when some people they say, just watch your mind. And then the mind is knowing the possibility two objects, either physical phenomena or mental phenomena, or because of sometimes no physical form, but still knowing the mind, like feeling or knowing and so on. So in this way, yogis can realize it, ultimate reality. Intuitive wisdom also another ultimate reality, but still related to mundane field or mundane level. The birth and future knowledge is also ultimate reality, which are not named for, that is an ultimate reality that really experienced by yogis. So that's why the Four Noble Truths, after all, theoretically related to the Four Ultimate Reality. Four Noble Truths means, according to Abhidhamma perspective, Four Ultimate Reality. Okay? Citta and Dukkha means all the mundane consciousness except Lokottara supramundane consciousness. Then all the Cittasika except Lobha. Then all the Rupa Metta, this is we call Dukkha. Samudaya means Lobha. Nirodha means Nibbana. Magga means four components of the mental factors or mental states. In this way, because for you are very lucky, because your meditation teacher knows this Abhidhamma aspect. That's why you don't need to worry. So long as you are listening to your teacher, follow your instruction, you don't need to worry for Abhidhamma. Okay? But if for your knowledge, for example, your teacher sometimes won't explain clearly, cannot explain clearly, but if those who are already know, is sometimes you are clearer to understand. But anyhow, so long as your mind is absorbed certain theories or Abhidhamma aspect, even the so-called Vipassanā, these all terminology are directly related to Abhidhamma. It doesn't matter. Whatever your teacher say or you learn from the book, doesn't matter. Name is a name. Name is a conventional truth. So long as you are understanding conventional truth, means you are knowing the conventional truth, hasn't experienced yet ultimate truth. For Buddhists, if you really want to appreciate the Buddha, if you really want to honor the Buddha, you're supposed to realize it, the ultimate reality, so that you are the great honor to the Buddha will be so happy for you. Okay? So this is how the practical Abhidhamma is related to your Vipassana meditation. So I will say practical Vipassana is fundamental aspect to realize the ultimate reality. So Vipassana practical Abhidhamma is to explain the method, how to explain the nature of ultimate reality, how to discover or how to apply. They're very much based on the analytical tools. So Vipassana meditation is to discover or to experience the nature of ultimate reality by applying the Abhidhamma technique or Abhidhamma theory, so that these two things are related to one another. By knowing this or learning this, may all of you appreciate the Buddha's teaching first of all, so as to apply this Buddha's teaching, Abhidhamma, then apply the Abhidhamma for your Vipassana meditation, so as to achieve or so as to realize the ultimate reality in this very life.